Glenn, perhaps not the result the performance deserved today. What was your take on the game?
It's a difficult one to dissect, and it's hard. I think it's the 5th defeat in a row now. But when we perform like that, and the players give absolutely everything, in possession, out possession, there's nothing too much wrong with that performance. Said previously about margins in football matches, and I just felt we were a little bit slow coming out of the blocks in the second half, and we got extremely punished in that 10-minute period of Chesham. In that saying, that when things are against you, they really are against you, in terms of conceding the penalty, Jack getting his fingertips to it, and the second goal is a hugely defective goal. And you look at the number of shots we've had at goal, and you're just waiting for something to drop for you. But it's an incredibly brave performance from the players in terms of the position we find ourselves. So there's no critics, and everybody who watched and viewed the game today will have their opinion on it. But I think it would be unanimous in saying that if we continue to perform like that, we will definitely start to move up the table.
Yeah, brilliant first half display, wasn't it? Full of energy, precision passing, and really you restricted Chesham to very few chances.
Yeah, and I think you have to look at the quality of the opposition as well. If you look at it, they've beaten Hungerford in the week. They were a Conference South and a good Conference South team, and then they've beaten Hayes and Yedding, who were vying for the title with Farnborough, and perhaps even Chesham. You look at the form they're on. So for us to dominate the ball in good areas as well, not just in our deep third, the middle third, final third, and we pass with a purpose, as you said. The movements, we've had a really good Tuesday and a really good Thursday in terms of the map preparation for today. And as I said, I couldn't ask for any more, because everything we did in training came out today. It's just annoyingly that little 10-minute period, and I say, fortune I think was on Chesham's side today, and I think they would be big enough to admit that as well.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you took the lead into the second half courtesy of Charlie Madden's free kick. It was quite a clever one, wasn't it? He bent it around the wall and just inside the near post.
Yeah, you see Charlie in it. I look at these and I think it's no coincidence that the boy's done that, because he's one that stays behind and he practices these free kicks, and there's a fashionable and quirky technique to it these days, the way the ball moves, and he's executed it extremely well. And we've got 2 or 3 in the camp who are very good from set pieces, and as I said, they stay out there and they practice it, and so it's really nice for him to see that. And then we nearly second half as well saw it again, but unfortunately it's not enough to win the game, but it was an extremely well taken free kick.
Yeah, I guess if the second one had gone in, maybe it would have deflated Chesham a little bit, but as it was, quite a contentious moment for their equaliser, would you say?
We looked at it and we had a real good eye on our midfield today, and out of possession I thought we had it right, but there's that one moment when you have a player that breaks out. We look how high our midfield are, and the gaps appeared, and the lad's driven in, and it's a great technique, and it's sort of bobbled up in front of Jack, and I don't think he could have held on to it, and he's pushed it out. He's reacted well, and Jack certainly is contesting the amount of contact he's had with the lad, but we can't do anything about that. The official's given it, so he's given a penalty, and the lad again, he's got his fingertips to it. Dodge and Jack have gone through footage last night on the penalty taker and where he's put it, and the lad's come into play. And again, he's a very good technical player who's finished that penalty. So that's what it is.
Yeah, I guess when confidence is a little bit low, when a setback happens, it's perhaps a little bit tougher to recover. Did you feel that played a part in Chesham's second goal?
Not necessarily. as I sort of said last weekend, you know, Beaconsfield wasn't the greatest performance, but it was 94th minute and the players were still huffing and puffing. So I don't think we sat off after that initial goal we conceded. I thought we sat off them immediately after the second half, but I thought once that first one went in, we showed great confidence and great belief to go and get the ball and to get back on performing how we did in the first half. So I wouldn't say that the confidence affected it. I thought we was extremely brave, really. That's a good word I would use with their performance, in terms of that sometimes it can deflate you and you're despondent out there. You know, the players are obviously disappointed in the changing room, and losing the game of football is not really acceptable, but the performance is acceptable. But you know, we're almost looking forward to Tuesday, and we're looking and thinking, right, if we perform like we did today, we could really force the issue towards Truro.
Yeah, another good side. You pushed them pretty close at their place, didn't you? Just that one goal that they had in the end.
Yeah, they're a big, strong, powerful side, Truro, and again they have ambitions of promotion and pushing on to a higher level. They're an ambitious club, but I felt we went toe to toe down there. The only thing I felt is they sort of dealt with the conditions slightly better because they're sort of used to their surroundings. So I'm really hoping, if you look at our conditions today, you look at our surroundings, and the boys really do enjoy playing at the Avenue, you can see that. So I'm hoping it could turn the other way on Tuesday, and we'll certainly give absolutely everything, that's for sure, that's a given.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess if you look at replicating today's performance, you must be hopeful of getting something out of that game, because you know the standard's pretty high.
We're all honest enough to say when we fall short from our performance to get something out of the game, we put our hands up. But what you sort of said to us there is everything what we're sort of persevering with and pushing their messages hard with the players. So that performance has to become just the normality, just the usual here. And then looking at how we can have a little bit more composure in the final third, that little bit of bravery in front of goal that we have in our deep middle third now. When we get into them moments, you know, you could argue the question. We looked at, as I said, I think we had 8 shots on goal in the first half, and I think something like the similar amount in the second half. And think if your return is 1 goal, perhaps that's not acceptable. But on another day, I know them types of players come away with the match ball. So let's see if we can produce that on Tuesday.
Yeah, obviously not the result you wanted today. I guess what I was trying to say is that the performances keep going in this manner. The breakthrough is going to come, and the results will start coming. Obviously today's been a 5th consecutive loss, but you know it doesn't seem like positive results are too far around the corner. No,
as I said, we're honest enough to put a hand up and think, wow, we've got a huge amount to do here, and yeah, we have a huge amount to do here, but I do genuinely believe that we're not too far off in terms of our performances. On another given day, we'll play worse and win a game of football. That's just the game of football. That's the manner it is. And instead, the only thing you have to lock on with both hands is that when you keep forcing these issues, you get a better outcome. But football is a really cruel game, and it has that habit of giving you bad moments. But you look at it and think, right, once you get that first win, once you get that first collection of points, then that really push this group of players on, and it'll be really interesting if we can do that on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Thiago Sarr hobbled off of an injury today. Is he likely to be fit in time, do you think?
Thiago Sarr is he would be a doubt for Tuesday, but he's under good care. He's already elevating it. He's already icing it. He'll look after himself between now and Tuesday, and then Lauren and Carl analyse it and see if he's worth the risk, or if we need to give him a bit more time to get the swelling out of that ankle. But he was a big loss when he came off today, because he's been brilliant for us since we've been at the club. You know, I don't think there's many left backs in the league. I genuinely believe that. He had a little bit of a knock on the ankle previously, which affected his input. But you know, he's back to his best and charging down that left-hand side, and distribution really good, and defending really good in 1v1 situations today with the fullback. But that's the manager of the squad in terms of our strength. You know, Wellesley comes on and equally does just as good. And I think we're getting closer to that here now. You're looking at it and thinking, there was 3 or 4 players really disappointed not to play today, and they've got absolutely every right not to be disappointed that they're not playing. But there's games in quick succession, so you know, I said, the better the competition has, the better it brings out the players in the team, the better it is for Dorchester Football Club. Unfortunately, again, that's the nature of football. You need a competition to bring the best out of everybody. So, you know, there'll be an opportunity for another player now.
Mm-hmm. Any other injuries to come out of today's game?
Not out of today's game. We're still the only other player on the treatment table at the moment is the other Thiago Silva, but we're quite encouraged that he's going to do some work with Lauren on Tuesday. He's been in the gym today. He's back to weight bearing, which is really encouraging. So it's just going into some twisting and turning and some more bounding movements for Silva, but it sounds like he's not too far away, which will be a big lift amongst the camp for a personality of his calibre.